Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my gardening journal. Today I'd like to share with you my experience with Kay Parris Magnolia Tree. It is this wonderful tree right here. It is my favorite in the garden for a lot of reasons. One, it is an evergreen tree. I have a small sized garden, so anything that's evergreen and that's not too big always has a special place in my heart because it keeps my garden looking interesting all year. And another reason for it being my favorite is that it's got really interesting leaf color. It's got a glossy green leaves on top and then fuzzy brown undersides. And also another reason, the flowers of this tree are just out of this world gorgeous. They are really big, like the size of my hand, sometimes even bigger, and they're creamy white with like lemony scent to them. It's just really wonderful. Right now I'm using Kay Parris Magnolia as a specimen plant and also as a privacy hedge. So this view right here is what I see like right outside of my dining room area or dining room windows, and I have some of my neighbors' windows kind of looking in on this angle. So I was actually looking for a tree that has an upright growth and that doesn't grow too tall and not too wide, and I wanted something evergreen. So I'm growing this not too far from my fence. I would say like about 12 feet, and also not that far from the wall either. I would say about 6 to 8 feet. So this is a perfect tree. Kay Parris Magnolia is the dwarf variety of southern magnolia, and there are a lot of varieties out there like for small size gardens like Little Gem, Teddy Bear, and many other cultivars that I can't recall right now. But Kay Parris is actually one of my favorites. I have two Little Gems in my yard as well on the other side, but today is about Kay Parris, so we're gonna focus on this beautiful little tree right here. Let's take a closer look at what it looks like. I've had my Kay Parris Magnolia tree for about a year and a half. I bought it in the spring of 2020, and right now it is September of 2021. So it's been about a year and 5 months or so. When I first got it, it was barely 2 feet tall. And right now this tree is standing at 6 feet. So it grew almost 4 feet in the span of a year and a half. I would say that this is a pretty fast growing tree. So if you're looking for something that would cover up the area quickly, this is it. So let's go closer and look at the really interesting foliage color. So leaves are super glossy green on top, and underneath, just take a look at that. I don't know if you can see, like it's a little fuzzy as well, and like the texture is really interesting. I love just looking at these leaves. And in my area, like I'm gardening in zone 8, I live on the west coast of Washington. These are definitely evergreen in my area, and we don't get snow often, but when we do, oh my goodness, the snow looks really good on this tree, like when it's snow covered. I think I have a footage of this last year when it was covered in snow. I'll show you here in a second. But yeah, the flowers are they come out sporadically, so you never know when you're gonna get the surprise. And the flowers are gorgeous. I have pictures of those as well. So this was my winter last year in the year 2020. You see why evergreen trees are so important in small size garden? When everything else is lifeless, evergreen trees will cheer you right up. And Kay Parris magnolias, they look so wonderful snow covered, don't you think? We had a brief period of snow for a couple days, and I wasn't sure if it was going to survive, but it did. And this is Kay Parris Magnolia in the background there in front of my Victoria, California lilac. Now let's take a look at the creamy white flowers that are also incredibly fragrant. When it's spent, you'll see that the seed pod carries large red seeds. These seeds are so beneficial and attractive to a lot of birds, so just leave them on the plants. And even when there are not a lot of flowers for us to see on this plant, these large, glossy, smooth, wavy-edged leaves will keep this plant looking interesting all year round. I've read that Kay Parris Magnolia is a very cold-hardy magnolia, more so than other southern magnolias, and they can be grown further up north. Kay Parris magnolias can grow to about 20 feet tall and 10 feet wide, And this is a sun-loving tree. Like the one I have receives almost 8 hours of sun, and maybe that's why it's looking really healthy. It has well-drained soil as well. I haven't had any insect problems or disease problems with this tree at all, and I would say that it's relatively easy to grow and also low maintenance. But then again, my tree is still very young. It's only a year and a half. I've read that magnolia trees can get messy when they drop old leaves. I can't comment on that because that hasn't happened for me yet. But I noticed though that this tree loves moisture, so I come out here and I water it deeply once a week and sometimes twice a week if the weather gets really hot, like up to high 90s or 100. But other than that, I don't do much. I fertilize it once or twice in the springtime and that's it. And before I say goodbye today, I want to show you a picture of my Kay Parris Magnolia when I first got it. You see how small and scrawny looking it was? And look at it now. Not even been 2 full growing seasons for it yet. Alrighty, I think that's it for me today, guys. That's all the information that I can gather on Kay Parris Magnolia trees. I think Kay Parris Magnolias are a little rare in my area. I bought this one from a local nursery last year, and when I went back again this year, they didn't have any more. And I looked and looked everywhere, and I couldn't find them anywhere, so I went with Little Gem instead this year. If you see a Kay Parris Magnolia in your area and you can grab a hold of one, you should. You won't regret it. I hope you enjoyed watching our video today. We'll see you next time. Bye.